This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. Use the links in the description to visit their store. Hello everyone, we are doing a Final Fantasy draft. It's on Arena now, and we've got a really great first pick here in Jill, Shiva's dominant. You know, I called her the best mana war ever in the set review, and that's pretty much what she is. Not only can she bounce any non-land permanent, not, specific kinds of permanents other than lands, she can also transform. And she's not the most, game-breaking once she transforms. This cycle, as far as this cycle goes, she can make one thing unblockable, and the next turn she can make herself unblockable. Then she taps all their lands, and that doesn't even really matter that much because they're going to untap on their turn. But then she turns back into Jill and does the thing again, and she gives you a body, gets bigger. It's really good. It's just that the others are, completely game-breaking when they transform, and she's just like, I'm a good card. But she's still an easy first pick. She's super cheap, too, at 3 mana. Thief's Knife is sort of on the early short list of cards I may have underrated in the set review. I do like Dragoon's Wyvern, too. It's unfortunate there are that many good blue cards in the pack, but we will take Jill. This card's real bad and limited. Don't play it. I explained why in my bonus sheet set review. There's always people who argue, though, that it's fine, but the data would indicate otherwise. So, Sleep Magic and Dragoon's Wyvern are both really good blue cards. I don't think I would hesitate to first pick them, even, in certain situations. I think Phantom Train's a legit build around, but you pretty much have to end up in black-white. I do like the Dire Rat okay. SideQuest Raise a Chocobo is a solid card, and if you're in, red-green, actually transforming it is on the table, but, yeah. I'm sort of thinking Wyvern. I mean, maybe it should just be Sleep Magic. Yeah, it's just Sleep Magic. I mean, it's too good as a removal spell. It is sometimes awkward when you have bounce and removal, but we'll have things to bounce. It's fine. Okay. Not taking a blue card here. The Wind Crystal is, a little more legit. The black one and the white one, I think, are both reasonably playable and limited. The other three, not so much, especially the blue one. Being able to give your whole board lifelink, and flying does matter on a lot of boards, but you still have to be playing a card that's 4 mana, doesn't do anything for a while, in most cases, and I'm not really down with that. Black Mage's Rod is pretty good, but definitely better in black-red. I'm sort of thinking maybe it's Wind Crystal, because I don't like Rook Turret either. This is just not, a super strong pack. I don't think the Forayer is very good. The Racetrack, I'm not incredibly high on, so I'm sort of thinking Wind Crystal, as crazy as it is. There is one, at Rare, there is one blue-white life gain payoff. Oh. Okay, well, I'll take Mughal's Valor here, too. This is another card, it is one I need to play with. I have played against it, but not with, and I think most of the time, the floor on it is good enough to play it, and then it has, this insane ceiling. I mean, sometimes you're going to get 2 1/2s and gain some life, Not great, but fine. And I certainly think it's what we pick here. Yeah, the aerial unit's not bad. But, yeah, Mughal's Valor. It is a life gain card for our Crystal. Yeah. Sage's Newliths is, very medium. I do think SideQuest card collection is legit, but you probably need to be in blue-black to really go off with it, because, you draw 3, discard 2, don't add to the board. Slash of Light is fine, and maybe that's what I pick. I do like Town Greeter, and Cornered by Black Mages, and Prompto Argentum is fine. I don't love this, unfortunately, just because the floor on it's so low. It is an artifact, that matters. But I'm sort of thinking taking the medium removal spell over the, also medium Sage's Newliths. We'll see whether blue-white is open enough. They were, and I think it was wise of them, they made it so you can't really splash dominance. I mean, you can, but transforming them is very hard if you're splashing. Summon Fat Chocobo is really good, I think. A great common. I think it's green's best common. That's my early pick for it, just because it gives you so much value. So I'm looking at it a little bit here, because it's not, super clear where we're going to end up. I think this is okay. It's frequently going to give you the best permanent on the battlefield, a copy of it. And I think, given where I already am, I think we go ahead and take Realm Sketching here. That Summon Fat Chocobo is tempting, though. Yeah, so Galacat likes artifacts. You know, that's what we're supposed to care about, but Rook Turret and Galacat are both pretty medium as far as payoffs go. That said, I'm probably going to take one of them here. Right now, we don't have a ton of artifacts other than our Crystal, obviously. I do think Crystal's Chosen is interesting as a late-game play. There's something to be said for taking a town. Like, there's a world where we end up in a town deck, for sure. Yeah, I think I'll take the turret in the end. It is an artifact, and that, you know, makes me want to play it a little bit more. Okay, I do like picking up my first Magitech infantry here. They can populate the board with more copies of themselves. Lionheart's an interesting card, because it's so bad as far as equipment goes, but that enters trigger, if you're frequently getting a whole card out of it, it makes up. Like, I hesitate to call it a full-blown 2-for-1, because I don't think the equipment itself is worth a full card. So, but I think you get a little more than a card worth of value. Ultimecia is interesting, but with the Magitech infantry hanging out, I think that's where I go. All right, so I think we take this staff here too. It's an early artifact, and it's just a solid 2-drop. Snowvilliers is okay. The Moogle's okay. Taking a town isn't crazy, and I do like Ice Flan a decent amount, but I think we should be picking up some synergy pieces here. All right, we'll take a good trick. So, this is an artifact, but I don't think it's a very good one. The rescue mission is pretty medium, but probably better for us than Lunatic Pandora, which is just like 2 really weak effects. So we'll take it. Yeah, I think I like Magic Damper a little more than Paladin's Arms, honestly. Even though it's an equipment, it's just such a mediocre one, and being able to blank removal is a thing. Alright, so we get a free Sage's Newliths, and we do get a free town. We did get Ancient Adamantoys. Which is a cool card. I don't think it's very good in limited. You know, as far as 8 mana cards go, it's a little too silly to work that well in limited. We probably take a Wyvern here. We passed a couple in that first pack because we kept having even better things, but we definitely take a Wyvern here. It's really good. You know, one thing that's interesting about it, there are some formats where synergy is so important that a card like this that has like no synergy with anything ends up not being that good. It does make a hero token, which one of the blue-white signposts also likes hero tokens as well as artifact creatures, but that's very minor synergy. But the rate is just so good that usually this kind of card ends up being good anyway, you know, even though it's a little bit awkward. Okay. So, Squall, probably worth splashing, and we did happen to pick up an Insomnia, Crown City. So I think I'm going to consider taking it. There is another Magitech infantry, and we do need more of those to make our... They all get better the more of them we have. I don't think this is very good just because when you whiff with it and it doesn't do anything, it's just a disaster, and that's going to happen too often. I do like Swallowed by Leviathan okay, but I think we take Squall, see if we can splash it. Because his ability to get permanents back from the graveyard is legit. Okay, so here's a good artifact payoff, and here's a good artifact payoff. I think Edgar's a little better. Mostly just because he does the thing right away. He draws you cards equal to artifacts. She needs to attack, but, you know, if you can attack with her and draw a card, she's great. Another Wyvern, too, and a Staff. There's a lot that I'm hoping wheels, but we'll take Edgar here. Ooh, Delivery Moogle. We're already on board with 2 things it can grab, so it's definitely what we pick up here. It lets you grab an artifact with mana value 2 or less from your deck, and that's a great 2-for-1. Again, another Magitech infantry. Don't hate Retrieve the Esper or Combat Tutorial. Not a land that helps us, though. I really want to build a blue-green deck, draft a blue-green deck at some point, but it hasn't happened for me yet. I think we probably just take this town. Helps us play Squall. And, you know, these are artifacts, but they're not good ones. We do need to pick up more. Right now we're only at 5, and we're going to want more. And these are artifacts I would play to up my artifact count, but there's also good fixing. You know, Ice Flan's okay, but not anything special, I don't think. Okay, so we do have a Restoration Magic here. It is a card I'm curious to play with. I mean, I kind of feel like it's Magic Damper, more or less, is how it's going to feel most of the time. It has a little more upside, but not by a lot. Retrieve the Esper does give us artifact creature tokens. Instant Ramen's okay. We do need artifacts, and I'm sort of leaning towards picking one up here. Yeah. We do have reasons to want them. Oh, Ice Magic versus White Mage's Staff is tough. Summorized Katana is pretty good to still be here. I'm thinking of taking the Artifact. I mean, we also need 2 drops, a reasonable amount, over the good but not great removal spell. So, also the random life gain these have does make the Wind Crystal a little bit better. So that is a thing. I don't love the Prima Vista. It's mostly here for the blue-red deck, even though it's an artifact, because it turns into a vehicle. I'm thinking of just taking another land to make our mana better over Paladin's Arms or World Map. Yeah. I may take a World Map at some point, but... Alright, I mean, I think we take a Newlitz, ups our artifact count. I think we sort of hope we don't play it, but I think it's better for our deck than Coral. I think they're both very mediocre 2-drops, but one of them, you know. Alright, so we do get a free Magitech Infantry here. I think it's what we grab. Charleon, Nation of Scholars. I wouldn't hate another one, but we will take that. Ooh, that's a very late Wyvern. I'm down with that. All 3 of these are just such a mediocre rate, but I guess I'll take Paladin's Arms in the end. Alright, I will take an Ice Flaw now over an Airship. We're doing better on artifacts after that pack, that's for sure. We're up to 10. Alright, so Sage, I think, is a great card. Unfortunately, we're not playing green. Cecil, I think, is really good. We're not playing black. However, we do have a Crystal Fragments, which is an early artifact that has big late game upside. There is also a Dragoon's Wyvern, another one of those. We don't have a ton of removal, so Fate of the Suncrest is kind of on my radar. So, yeah. Where do we want to go here? There's lots of good options. I sort of feel like with the lack of removal I have, I probably need to prioritize Fate of the Suncrest over, like, an okay artifact. A pretty good, you know, card. Yeah, so I think we have to take the removals, sadly. Sometimes you got it. Wow, somebody's going to get 2 of those. That's pretty sweet. We are not, though. So I do like Magitech Armor. It gives us, you know, an artifact and a hero token. It would be nice to get some Sids, or either of our Signpost Uncommons, actually. Would be kind of nice. Yeah. This is actually kind of okay in our deck if it wheels. We are up to 3 towns. I mean, I think you want like 5 before a card with affinity for towns that's as expensive is good, but... Okay, we do get a Sid here. I think it's what we pick. We have a bunch of cards that make heroes, and we have a few artifact creatures. I think. We may not actually have... Oh, we do. Our Magitech Infantries, for example. So yeah, we take Sid here. Wouldn't hate a Scorpion Sentinel, but yeah, we'll take Sid. Alright, so Eject is pretty good. You know, just bounce, draw a card. Ends up being pretty good value most of the time. This does give us an artifact token, as I've noted, but I'm not that into it. I do really like Town Greeter and X-Death for somebody out there. But yeah, we'll take Eject. You know, I'm not even sure we'll play our other Instant Ramen. I think we'll end up with enough artifacts. What a sentence that is in Magic. I'm not going to play Instant Ramen. Okay, well, this is interesting. So, we have a cheap artifact here, and we have several ways to gain life. Not as many as I would like. There's also another Wind Crystal. I kind of don't think we can afford to run 2 cards that don't add to the board like that, though. But Excalibur's pretty interesting, and I do want to play with it. I'm not sure we have enough life gain to make that make sense, though. I'm going to take it anyway. We'll see if we can make it work. It does make Instant Ramen a little more palatable. Another Magitech Armor seems fine. Especially now that we have a Sid. Like, you know, these cards are all going to be a lot better in Commander and probably in 60-card formats too. Although, I think most of them are too clunky for 60-card as well. But there are some combos and stuff, but in Limited, it's just so hard to play a card that doesn't add to the board like that. Well, this pack's interesting. We have another Squall. Our mana's not quite good enough to pull that off. So we're looking at either Scorpion Sentinel or Sleep Magic. I think we have enough 2-drops and enough artifacts that I'm just going to take another removal spell here. There's another Sage's Newliths, some lands that don't help us at all. We'll take the Newliths, I guess. Okay, another land that helps us with Squall, but also a Crystal Fragments. I guess I'm down with another land that helps us with Squall, though. I mean, he's strong enough to try a little bit to play him. Take a Magic Pot here. I don't think it'll make the cut. It does give us treasure when it dies, so that's something. We definitely have some trimming to do. We're way too deep at 4 mana, that's for sure. Yeah. Nothing there for us. I think our deck looks pretty good, though. We're doing the artifact stuff a fair bit. You know, casting Edgar's probably going to win us some games because it'll just draw us like 2 or 3 cards like regularly. Squall, like I said, I think it's strong enough to make the cut. The Wind Crystal is a bit of a question mark. So is Excalibur too. But yeah. Yeah, people don't like those corals, and I think they're right not to. That kind of card used to be so good in Limited, like 2 mana, 2/2 can tap other things, but you got to build out your board these days, and you don't have time for that. So, we have more creatures than it looks like we do. How many? First, let's look at Excalibur 2. How many ways to gain life do we have? We got 2 White Mage's Staffs, okay, and an Instant Ramen if we play it. And the Wind Crystal, that's it. Moogle's Valor, too. That's not enough, unfortunately. Like, if I get it on turn 1 and play a staff on turn 2, like every game, then sure. But it's not enough to make it work, unfortunately. I'd rather have Magic Damper than You're Not Alone in this particular deck, I think. And I may not even play the Damper. I'm cutting at least 1 Newliths. It is unfortunate we only got 2 Magitech Infantries, but that's okay. Probably cutting Instant Ramen. I mean, I'm still going to have 11 artifacts, which is plenty. We need to look here at the things that need to be cut, though, obviously. Yeah, the rescue mission's not great for us, so that's an easy cut. You know, I don't love Rook Turret. It's just 4 mana 3/3s just play so bad these days, even when they have flying, and if they don't have an Inter's trigger. Like, if this looted on Inter and when you played an artifact, or just on Inter, actually, it would be a lot better. But it doesn't. We probably don't want Ice Flawn in this deck. I don't imagine that being... I mean, it's fine, but... sort of feels like we're a little more tempo-y than that. Than wanting to play a 6. I may cut a Magitech Armor, I guess. We just have so many 4s. Although I think Magitech Armor is better than Rook Turret, so we'll cut that first. I think, you know, deeper in the format, maybe just not playing Squall is the thing to do. But I think, you know, trying out rares is good, and it's not like we don't have to hurt our mana very much to play him, because we don't even have to run a swamp because we don't have anything that can search one up, so we may as well just run our 3 black sources that are also sources for something else. So I don't think we're hurting our mana at all, really, to play him. Oh, I do still have this Paladin's Arms in here, huh? Yeah, I mean, I do think it's pretty mediocre. We do have a lot more low drops than it looks because we have so many multiples. So yeah, I think I probably cut it. I probably don't really... Well, that was my 10th artifact, wasn't it? It was. I mean, 9's still pretty good, you know. The question is whether we'll put it back in for a second. Our deck doesn't have that many good things to copy with Realm Sketching. That's true. I mean, the Wyvern's not bad. I do think it, you know, if your opponent has the best thing, you can copy it too. But yeah, I'm probably just going to end up cutting a Damper here. Like, apart from Jill, our deck isn't all about one card, really. You know, protecting one great creature or something. Like, he does his thing on entering. So, the Wind Crystal, I do think, is questionable. That is for sure. But it is an artifact. We've got a little bit of life gain. And I do want to try it out. Yeah. Sketching or Wind Crystal is basically where we are. I think being an artifact is relevant enough for us. Although, I guess other than Edgar, we're not that into artifacts. I mean, these get better the more artifacts you have, but... yeah. I'm going to cut... I want to try the crystals, so I'm going to cut the other thing, the pseudo-clone. Alright, so... is this correct? Yep, I think our mana is actually really good thanks to the, like, random free towns we managed to pick up. Alright, let's see how we do here. We got some powerful cards, that's for sure. Going off with Jill would be sweet. Getting Jill back with Squall would be really sweet. So. Okay. Yep, looks like a solid hand. Got Edgar, which I think is going to be one of the better cards in our deck. And we do have one artifact to start, so that's good. I think we ended up with enough, like a nice mix of removal and threats and card advantage. There's our Wind Crystal, which we'll see how that goes. We do need to draw another land pretty badly. We're in trouble if we don't. If we do, we're in pretty good shape, I think. Gross. So, I get to ramp their mana here. I think Summon Fenrir is so good. Any of these that give you, like, a card worth of value up front are just, like, you know, so great. Ugh. Sleep Magic is not so good against Fenrir and his friends. Yeah, we needed a fourth land. Like, playing Magitech Armor would have been an amazing play. I do think we attack here. They can trade. It's not really a 2-for-1 since I still have the staff. They probably end up just taking it, though, because they'd like the other stuff. No, they're going to do that. Okay. I am down with that. I still keep my artifact on board, so that's good. And I have ways to deal with whatever scary thing they might play off of that ramp, so I'm not super alarmed. That, however, is a card that, you know, removal doesn't matter against. Okay, well... You know, lately I've had some hard land times on Magic Arena. You know, it's just bad luck. It happens, but I've had a few games lately where I drew, like, 14 or 15 of my lands in the top 20 cards. Yeah, we just take the 2 here. I don't really see a reason to trade off. Well, would have been a sweet combat trick if they had. Yeah, they're ramping their mana like crazy, and we can't even draw a fourth land. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how Sleep Magic fares, because, like, there are a lot of things in this format that it doesn't feel that good to use it on. I do think I'm going to put it on Dragoon's Wyvern here. I have the mana to do it, and... But yeah, I mean, they have, what, 7 mana, and I can't hit my 4th land drop? It's not a good place to be, I think it's safe to say. This is the kind of situation where it's like, there's no way I can play my Wind Crystal, like, ever. Okay, that is ridiculous, because they bounced all of our tokens, and both things they bounced give them value. The way things are lining up here isn't great for us, I think it's safe to say. Edgar is going to draw us a bunch of cards at some point. I wonder whether I should try to kill this. I mean, they're still going to draw a card, but... And they're already going to get, like, extra value out of these. But taking 6 is a pretty big hit when my hand is what this is. So... yeah. We'll let them draw the card. I think I need to hold on to this, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, you know what? I think that was a dumb play. I'm probably going to use it. Oh, it has Ward, actually. So there was no way we could anyway. Of course it has Ward. We're getting destroyed by, like, Value Central over here. Get Fenrir back. It's interesting that it's highlighting like I could cast it right now when the only target is this and I have Ward. Okay, we did get a 5th land. Probably too little too late, but we can do something. Oh yeah, destroying it there would have been dumb anyway. I'm sort of glad it had Ward because it removed itself. So, yeah. So, destroy my Magitech armor. This is one of those games where it really feels like everything that could go wrong. Like, my opponent has, like, incredible plays every turn. And we got nothing. This has trample, so at this point I think I may as well just block the 3 damage. So we can draw a bunch of cards with Figaro, but they're so far ahead of us on board that it really doesn't matter. But it'll feel good. Yeah. That was a rough game. They can probably just kill Figaro and attack us for lethal, given how things have gone so far. What a surprise! Well, you know, everything that could go wrong pretty much went wrong, and we still cast Figaro and drew 3 cards, so if we can do that more on schedule, we might have a chance. That Wind Crystal did feel terrible in that game. Although if I'd drawn the 4th land for it at the right time, and then my rod, the White Mage's rods would have been gaining me 2 life at a time, like, it would have made a difference. But okay. Alright. This probably is a hand where we just run out the infantry on 1 and then play this tapped on 2. We'll be able to play Squall. They've got World Map over there, which is a little clunky, but does fix your mana. So yeah, we're just going to play a tap land here. We have the luxury. Wonder whether it's going to be better next turn to just grab another Magitech infantry or actually play something. Probably just better to use the Magitech infantry ability. Yeah. So Fang does give them good value if they get stuff out of their graveyard. Draws them a card anytime something leaves their graveyard. We're probably not gonna play Squall on... Well, we're pretty okay with that, because we can just get a card back right away. That works for us, I think. And now, Squall actually does something next turn when he can hit them. I wonder whether it's better to play this tap land and play the arms and just hit them for 2, though. It might be. It also gets another artifact on board for Edgar. Yeah. Of course, I guess Squall hitting them would... Ooh, look what they have. We're going to have to break that up, obviously enough. Because it's gross value if they can meld them. Yeah, so we will... Why is she, like, glowing like this? Oh, it's just to tell them that they can meld. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to have to kill her. Actually, I guess we'd rather kill him, although she's the one with the meld trigger, but he does more once he's in play. And I can attack with both of these if I do this. So, yeah. We are very down with that trade. So Edgar can draw us 2 right now, which isn't insane, but like 6 mana, 4/5, draw 2 cards. Sounds pretty good. Oh, don't exile things from my graveyard. Bummer. Bummer. Alright, how greedy do I want to be? Because I could play my Staff and Squall here. I mean, it's pretty good to do that, honestly. And then Edgar will draw me more cards later. This will be a double striker. So yeah, we're not going to get the graveyard value, but just the double strike here is pretty great, obviously. So they can't block it, basically. Even if they double, well, I guess that'll work. Yeah. Obviously it works. Yeah, we'll kill that. I mean, I get to kill both of their creatures. I didn't really expect them to do it, but we do still play another artifact, so Figaro will still draw us 2 next turn. And if I attack with Squall first, maybe I get back the infantry. Yeah, it's looking pretty promising on that front. Just attacking with Squall. Ooh, that is not promising, though. That's the powerful Townland that turns into a really disgusting vehicle. And now they're going to exile more from our graveyard. Because of course they are. It's not a card I love, but it's doing pretty well against us. Is it better to attack with both? No. We will just attack with Squall here. Either they take 6. I'm down with that. I wish I had stuff to get back. But I will take getting to draw a bunch of cards. Well, 2. Alright, and we got Jill. That was pretty good things to draw, because Jill can even bounce the vehicle. Yeah, okay. I think we're still going to be alright, though. Because I can just get rid of both of their creatures here. Yeah. So, casting Jill to bounce Summon Titan isn't terrible. Yeah, so we'll do that. I think we hold on to Slash of Light to deal with something more meaningful. And we do that. Alright, that game went much more in our favor than the last one did, even with them exiling everything we wanted to bring back with Squall. Edgar's been pretty good so far. Like I said, even in game 1, where we were just getting wrecked, it drew us 3 cards. Like, if we'd only had a board state. would have helped. All right, multiple tap lands gets a little bit awkward when I have 2 drops, but the hand looks pretty good. We do still have something for the Moogle to grab because we have another staff. Yeah. Had to decide which land I want to play on turn 1 and which one I want to play on turn 2, because we're playing an untapped land. Oh, good. Smuggler's Copter. That's what I want to see. Goodness. So, yeah, I mean, they can crew this very easily, and it will quickly destroy us, because it'll draw them cards. It's evasive. It loots, at least, so it's not like a straight-up draw, but, you know. Our delivery Moogle can trade off with it, but by then, they'll have gotten so much value that I'm not sure it'll matter. So next turn we play Traino and the Newliths. And then, yeah, we definitely play our Moogle just because we really need to stop Smuggler's Copter. It was pretty busted in original... Was it an Aether Revolt card or a Kaladesh card? It was one of those. Wait. They didn't decide to loot? It's almost always correct to decide to loot for those at home. I don't know what they have in their hand, but... like, you could have done the same thing for 0 mana. I mean, it's not guaranteed to happen that way for 0 mana, but... You know, mountain cycling is sort of similar to looting. All right, so if I play an untapped land here, I can actually play out both of these, but then I can't play my Moogle next turn. And I do want to play my Moogle next turn. There's a good chance they can just kill it, but if they can't, I can at least stop the Smuggler's Copter nonsense. This thing can start getting counters and killing bigger things by sacrificing itself now that they're at 4 mana. Red-White's not exactly the deck that is going to buff this a bunch, but it can do it with equipment, and it can do it sometimes with expensive spells. So I think it's a nice little 1-drop. Yep, there's a nice play. We do still hold on to an artifact, so I'm not too broken up about it. But yeah, now they can just kill my Moogle with Blazing Bomb, unfortunately. I do still think we play the Moogle here. I mean, there's something to be said for playing Squall and hitting them for 4 and just trying to race them. Ooh. Okay. So I can at least use this to kill... Now I can use it to kill this, but only after letting it hit me again. So that part's not great. Squall, hit them for 4, or Delivery Moogle, make you give up your Blazing Bomb. I mean, maybe they can't crew it without Blazing Bomb. So far, yeah, all right. So I am going to go the Moogle route here. Yeah, we definitely want another staff more than we want any of these other things. It's unfortunate this costs 4 and not 3, because that would be nice for Squall, but yeah, all right. Suplex. So the bad news, too, is that not having mana up at the right time does mean I won't be able to kill this until next turn, but I guess the right thing to do is probably... Hopefully I draw a land and I can play my other staff, but... That is far from guaranteed. Down to 10 we go. So he's really gross with equipment. Okay. Not drawing a land is rough. I think, though, we just have to play our infantry and leave up Fate of the Suncrist. Otherwise, the Strawl is just going to be the end of us. So... also known as Smuggler's Copter. I don't think I have the luxury of, like, playing... I could bounce Smuggler's Copter. That's something. And then I can also play the infantry. Yeah, I mean, that is something. And if she dies and I can get Squall in play at some point, I can get her back. Yeah, playing out multiple bodies seems pretty good here. And subtracting one from their board at the same time. So yeah, let's bounce this. And play our infantry. Wonder whether it's better to attack and gain a life here than anything else. You know, it probably is slightly better than leaving it back, because I'm not that good at blocking these things anyway, so. They've only got one card in hand, so. And we know what it is. It's not a card that's going to help them attack us this turn. I guess it does buff this, but I'm fine with trading with it. They can move it to Giot and then play the Copter, I guess, but I'm also okay with the chump block there. Okay. I don't imagine you discard Smuggler's Copter. Now what do? Throw your bomb, yeah. Alright, so yeah, we block this, and we take 2. Really be nice to draw a land so I can play another staff. There we go. Play another staff and leave up our Fate of the Suncrist. Yep, we will pass. They do still get the loot trigger before I kill it, unfortunately, but there are worse things in the world. I mean, now, if we can kill this, then play Edgar next turn, I think we're kind of in business. So, is it better to just kill this now and give them the information that it's going to be dead? It's probably better to not let them know it's going to die. Watch, they drew something to save it. Which is possible. Okay. Can we turn this around? If we draw land, I think we have a very good chance to. We didn't, but I do have Squall, which can cause all kinds of problems on a future turn. And this turn I can attack for 4, so it's not like it doesn't do anything. So, buffing Giot's really scary. Alright. Well, they are giving me something to chump block it, which softens that blow significantly. Actually... No, yeah, I think we just go for the chump. You know... Do I also want to block there? Yeah, I think that's fine. Land would be great. Playing the Wyvern's solid. Eject's pretty good as well. I think playing the Wyvern's a little better, though, because I can... I can continue to pressure them while also having a body to block a potentially massive Giot. Yeah, which is... There's no reason for us to not assume he's going to be massive. Now, let's hope they don't give it trample. It's not impossible. Makes me wish I had left eject mana up if that's what happens here. Okay. That's fine with us. We do need a 6th land for it to be really fine with us, but as long as we hit our 6th land, there it is. Play our Figaro. Draw 3. And we're in good shape. Giot number 2 has entered the battlefield. He is actually pretty good to put sleep magic on, which is nice. He'll still let them rummage, but that's not a major concern of mine. Then we play Magitech Armor. Whatever they play here, we can eject. Again, Wind Crystal feeling pretty bad. Ooh. So, the good news is they're out of mana. They are going to draw a bunch of cards, though. It's like what we did, but better. So it makes more sense that they cast Fire when they did. But we're still going to be able to kill them thanks to eject. And then we crew this. We would have killed them anyway, actually. Whew. That game looked pretty sketchy for a little while there, but we managed to kill Smuggler's Copter. That was really the key moment. And Jill and Squall both died, but only after giving us good value. Okay. The complete lack of blue mana is concerning. However, we do have Staffs and Moogle Valor. I think we have to mulligan, though. I mean, blue is one of our primary colors. He takes double blue, so... Yeah, I mean, maybe... I mean, I think this is a better hand overall. I've already got a better 3-drop, so I'm thinking about putting the arms back because I do think we want mana. And putting a land back when we've got only one 2-drop, I mean... Yeah, so let's put the arms back. Hold on to some lands. You know, I think I gave this a D+ in the set review, but it does seem like by virtue of being an artifact, it's at least like a C-, you know? In a deck like this, it's like a build around C-, which is not exactly inspiring, but it's a thing. Yeah, so we'll just bounce that, which will feel good. Sid's going to be good next turn. So yeah, we get to play Jill here. Bounce, attack, untap itself, play Sid next turn. This becomes a 3/2, which means it can attack into Gubu Gardener. This is one of the few cards in the set that I like vividly remember because it's from Final Fantasy XI. I killed a lot of Gubu Gardeners. The situation is not nearly as appealing now that they've played a Death Toucher. I mean, I still think we play Sid here and attack. And, yeah, I think that's our best play. Do they just trade or take 3? Trade is fine with us. Our Moogle can grab us another hero. Our preferred... Like, you'd much rather have White Mage's Staff, I think, in the blue-white deck. But you can't have, you know... Can't have all of them. You've got 3 mana. Do you kill Sid with it or something? No. You just make a body. And you commune with beavers. Ooh, that card's so good. Well, for the first time, we don't have our Squall mana, which is a little sad. Right now, how many permanents do they have in their graveyard? 2. So, we'll be able to kill Jill, but we do have a way to get her back in hand. And our creatures are big enough to attack into a Cloud of Darkness, so I'm not too worried. Yeah, we definitely want White Mage's Staff. Magitech Infantry, I mean, I'd be able to play it and search it all up in the same turn, which is nice, but... I wonder whether they kill our Moogle instead, because we are 2 mana away from Jill doing her thing. And like I said in the draft, like, she's not busted when she transforms. She's just so good on the front, and then, yeah. Alright, well, fair enough. Interesting. Aggression. Well, yeah, we're just going to attack with both our creatures here. They block our Moogle. I thought about equipping the Moogle. Nah, it doesn't really make enough of a difference, so... But we will play out a Staff. And an Infantry. We'll really be in business if we ever draw black mana. Alright. Yeah, he's big, but... Honestly, I think bouncing it... Bouncing it and attacking with everything isn't amazing. I could put the Newliths on something, but that doesn't seem great either. Yeah, I think we bounce it. It's just such a big tempo play. They do get to draw another card, of course, which that part's not great. So yeah, I mean, this drops them to... Yeah, I mean, we give up the infantry here. It's a little sad to do it when it's not searching for something, but we do it because it drops them to 2, so now they can't even play Summon Anima. Like, you know, they can't go to 1 and think things will be okay. We are kind of out of gas. The eject I could have used a nicer card off of, but they do need to play a second body here, and we already know one of them's not big enough to block our creatures effectively. There's a Blitz Ball. So this drops them... Oh no, it doesn't drop them to 1. It's not an Inter's trigger, I forget. Alright, well we drew Sleep Magic. That will do the trick. Most likely. See if they can do something with their mana. No. Alright. After that first very ugly game, our deck has felt pretty good. Pretty good. I wonder whether we'll ever transform Jill. Or if she's forever going to just be the best mana war ever, which... Fine by me. I mean, obviously, we've been winning the games without transforming her. It would be sweet to get her back with Squall at some point, just because getting that interest trigger from the graveyard is nuts. Especially if she's transformed earlier, too. Like, just crazy. Alright. It looks pretty good. I hope we don't have to cycle away Sid. I mean, it's unfortunately a lot of 4-drops. Which our deck does have a lot of, to be fair. Yeah, awkward draw there. Because I need to play this out. I do like that I drew another land, though. Like, if we draw a 4th one this turn, I probably hold on to Sid. We do not draw a 4th one this turn. That may mean I need to cycle him. Like, we're so desperate for a 4th land, I kind of think we have to. I think we attack here. They may take it out of fear for a trick, and if they don't, we still gain 1, so, yeah. And they do take it. I really wish I didn't have to cycle you, Sid, but... I really need to hit a 4th land drop. Alright, ride the Shoopoof. I'm curious to see how this plays, because a similar card once was not all that impressive. So it's not like we're under a ton of pressure, except this can put a counter on Demon Wall. So I really need to find a 4th mana. As nice as, like, if the top card on my deck is a land, it's going to be a little sad that I cycle him, but we have to give ourselves the maximum chance of doing that. So, not a land. Not a land. Okay. Alright, well, we'll play our Newliths. Well, it was still right to cycle him, I think. We're one card closer. I am tempted to just cut the Wind Crystal the more I play with it, but... yeah, so now this thing can rumble. It's a pretty good combo. So last time we had to deal with Summon Titan, we had, like, plenty of time to not care. This time, our opponent has a landfall payoff in play. Chapter 2 is going to reanimate 2 lands. Beautiful. It's just starting to feel like that first game. I mean, I can bounce it, but I don't really think it's worth it. It might be better to bounce Demon Wall, honestly. I guess we'll see where they put the counters. I mean, the other option is I play Magitech Armor or... yeah, this does feel even worse than I expected. It's a small sample size, but every time we've had it in our hand, I've been like, I don't really want it. So do I leave up mana for Eject? Or do I play Magitech Armor? I mean, the problem is they're going to put counters on a bunch of stuff here. So I kind of think we want to leave up mana for Eject and just pass. There's something to be said for bouncing Titan and attacking, but I think this is our best play, unfortunately. Yeah, I want them to put all the counters on Demon Wall, frankly. And I figured they would, because Titan, you know. Ooh, Lord. Well, the good news is they don't have an enchantment to reanimate. The bad news is, if Titan dies now, they do. Alright, people are doing some absurd stuff in this format, aren't they? Also has lifelink. Oh, God. So Titan's going to die next turn. Then they're going to go to their instep and reanimate Titan. Yeah, that's great. I do still think it's better to eject Demon Wall than anything else. I guess the ward doesn't give me a choice, so... Land is good, but I think not good enough. So it takes 7, they gain 7. Words you hope you never utter. Okay, if we can actually get to next turn, maybe we've got a chance. But this freaking thing coming back is just such a pain. I think we want to play more creatures. More than we want to play the Wind Crystal. And Magitech Armor is more of a roadblock, so I think we play it over the Moogle here. So this dies, at least. We don't have to worry about this attacking us this turn, but they are going to reanimate it. And it's also buffing their whole board. Right, right. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that part. So if you have Titan and Rise the Shupa, the thing that I don't like about Rise the Shupa, for that it makes me skeptical... Ooh, good, there's a Cloud of Darkness, too. Is the fact that you often want to be playing an actual 2-drop on turn 2. That adds to the board. So it's weird to play on 2 sometimes. And then late, once you've played all your lands, it's not so good. But if you have multiple ways to get multiple land drops in a turn, I mean, obviously that changes the equation. So we are at 10. So yeah, the bad news is even Moogle's Valor can't really help us next turn very well. So I think what I'm going to do, I think it gives us our best chance, which is not a good one, is just take 9 trample damage here and kill the Gardener. I'm sure they have a way to kill us, but... Yep. Like, the 2 decks we lost to both did really absurd stuff that... You know, we're just trying to, like, draw a bunch of cards and play the Wind Crystal for some reason. I am more confident still that the black one is actually worth it. And again, this is a small sample size. It may turn out that it's very good. I mean, there are weird things that happen in one draft. The one that I remember the most is that, like, during the Brothers War early access, I drafted, like, this absurd ramp deck where I was playing the Portal to Phyrexia, the 9-mana artifact, and stuff like that. Turns out that format's incredibly fast, and I could never, ever do it again, but I won like 7 games with it because things lined up correctly. Oh, this hand doesn't have the white mana that we really need, so... Plus it has the Wind Crystal in it, but I think we mulligan. Alright. This hand is much better. Probably just play out the staff next turn. It means Slash of Light can do up to 3 damage, for one thing. So, that's good. Alright. I did enjoy the black-red deck in early access. I don't think I attack with the infantry here because next turn our play is pretty likely to be grab another Magitech infantry. And if I give up my Magitech infantry, that's not going to happen. There's Dark Knight's Great Sword. Okay. So yeah, we want to play this. I think it's fine to attack with the infantry here. We'll use the ability when they block. Yeah. I can't imagine they're double blocking. Yeah, so we'll end our turn. Probably gonna have to kill that with Slash of Light. It lets them double like this. It's luckily one of these, kind of like Titan. It gives you a window where you can kill it or bounce it, and it's not scary. The ones that do have a really good enters trigger are the problematic ones. So yeah, we will Slash of Light this. I don't love that I'm pretty much out of gas, but I think we attack. Alright. What do they have now? Something gross? Well, yeah, that's pretty good against us. Well, I think that means we end the turn. If we had more Magitech infantries, this would be so gross. Like the fact that you can just, you know, block and go crazy is pretty nice. I do think we're probably going to have to kill this token, especially if they kill our infantry. I mean, I definitely block. It'd be cool if they tried to use a trick. Is that the one that makes me discard 2 cards? No. That is very bad. Oh, it can only hit artifacts or creatures. So we do get to hold on to Fate of the Suncrest. We do lose Squall. But black mana doesn't seem to be on the horizon exactly. So we will end our turn. They do know we have removal, which it's always better when they don't know. You know? Yeah. So they Thunder Magic. Right. I'm happy to draw something that adds to the board, and not having any artifacts on the board makes me nervous when we know we have Edgar in our deck. We want him to draw us at least 1 card. Ooh, this is where Mughal's Valor does not shine. Having the Valor and the Crystal in this deck, like, they're both cards that are so awkward in too many situations, perhaps. Hey, there's Tonberry. He's going to be big. We do actually have a pretty good play against him, though, because of Mughal's Valor. Ooh, that's even better. And we might actually transform her next turn. How about that? Alright, so we're going to attack. Play our Jill. Just bounce Tonberry. And end our turn. I wish I had mana up for Mughal's Valor too, because then she'd definitely transform next turn. More or less. But it's okay. Another Rod. Tonberry returns. Now do you kill Jill? I think they might be killing Jill. They do not kill Jill. In which case, I think transforming her is the right play. We're at high enough life. Don't really need to worry about... The only thing they can do is kill her in response, which stinks, but it also means that we get rid of a spell. So, you know, I think we go for the transformation. Make this unblockable. Ooh, interesting. So, would have been nice to have two bodies on board for our Mughal's Valor, but we do have Eject and Mughal's Valor in our hand, which are both pretty, you know, useful spells. Eject on Tonberry is especially gross. Mughal's Valor is pretty good on Tonberry too, actually, now that I think about it. We will take 2. 3, 2, yeah. We do have a free attack, which we will take advantage of. So yeah, right now we're going to get 1 Mughal. But that might not be too bad. I could use Eject instead. I'd love it if they equipped the Great Sword to their Tonberry or something. I kind of doubt they will. If they try to use removal, yeah. We definitely use Mughal's Valor now. The most underwhelming Mughal's Valor ever, but it saves our creature, gives us 2 lifelink bodies. Well, 1 lifelink body. It means it can't attack us this turn. So, so I'll take it. It's not exactly 5 mana worth of value. But I will take it. Ejecting Tonberry is pretty tempting, especially because we draw a card like that. And we have enough mana that we can play most things in our deck if we draw them. Also, moving the Newliths to this is, well, it's not that good. It'll still die to that, but we will eject Tonberry here. Of course, we drew a land. And yeah, we do just attack here. If only the new list gave you a 2/2 with that ability. That would be so nice. So, we're still in a world where Edgar's only going to draw us 1 card. I mean, that, you know, 6 mana draw a card is a pretty good play at this stage of a game, but... Okay, so they have some free equip going on now. That's not good. I'm pretty happy with that. (3/1) Vigilance. More or less. Ooh. Now we can just lock him down with Sleep Magic. That's kind of messed up. I mean, I think we do, because they clearly don't have another creature right now. I I guess it's not really like they can attack us, though. So if they do draw another creature, I can just sleep magic it and hit them for 3. Yeah. We'll let them do their Tonberry things here. Well, I don't love that. Yeah. Makes me sad. Go to 6. Ugh. Draw a land. Put sleep magic here. There's a good chance they can just kill us before we can do something else here. They can't equip their greatsword, so we have that going for us. But they have all these pings. One more spell and we're dead. Probably going to draw a land as our last draw. Well, playing Sid doesn't save us, so I think we cycle Sid. And we draw a land. All right. Yeah, we drew a lot of lands in that game, no doubt about it. But I think our biggest downfall, basically, was playing definitely the Crystal. Like, it doesn't feel like a format where you can just be like, I'm going to play my Wind Crystal. Like, maybe if you draft, like, a really controlling deck, it does. And Moogle's Valor also didn't... You know, we never drew it when it was great. But maybe it's just a win more card. Although, you know, there are definitely situations where you can cast it, make 3 Moogles, and have good blocks that gain you life. Like, that can happen, but it may just be more of a win more card. I was skeptical about it. I think in the set review I said I went, like, back and forth. I had it as, like, an F in my initial notes about Moogle's Valor, but then I was like, I mean, lifelink and indestructible to your whole board, that means something, but maybe it doesn't. I mean, it helped us in that game, no doubt, but it wasn't great. So 3-3, not amazing, but I did, you know, I think a synergistic artifact deck. Our deck wasn't even that synergistic, but all the Edgar stuff and Delivery Moogle felt good. Another card that didn't feel great, but it's harder to tell, I think, because at least we felt like casting it, is Magitech Armor. Everything else pretty much performed how I felt like it would. It felt a little underwhelming. The Wind Crystal, you know, another card that I was iffy about how good it would be. And the Valor too. So Squall was good, and I think we had the right mana for him. We never got to do something crazy with him, but just Double Strike was pretty good. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next draft video.